Welcome to the Tarp Report with Sam Jes. Hey, welcome to the Tarp Report. My name is Sam Miller. Next to me is headliner Jess Anderson.
No big deal. No big deal. How is my eye already twitching?
I don't know.
It's like 9:08.
Yeah.
And it's...
We're not going to make the mistake and talk about what we were talking about before the podcast on air.
Nope.
Because we would have to erase it. But honestly, it wouldn't. We do agree with everything that we were saying.
Yep. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Trey.
Hello.
Yo.
Trey is back. Trey was in Atlanta. Trey was in Tacoma. Trey is everywhere. Trey is nowhere.
insane.
Trey is...
Yeah, he is everywhere, but you can't see him.
He's pure energy.
Weird.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah.
Wow.
Trey went to Atlanta and didn't eat anything. I asked him before the podcast what he had to eat in Atlanta, and he said nothing. He was just editing videos.
Because the one time I walked to go get a Philly cheesesteak.
You went...
But watch what happened, though. It
You
wasn't
got
even
what?
a good Philly cheesesteak because I had to B-roll. So I had to beeline somewhere else because there was a lady selling food stamp foods, like little Debbie cakes and Twinkies and stuff. She's sitting there with the little table set up. Mm-hmm. And then a dude comes behind her and pulls his wiener out and starts beating off, right? So, like, everyone in the plaza, it's like a downtown. It's, like, right outside of the metro. There's, like, hella homeless people and stuff, and like there's a dude beating off, and a worker from a restaurant comes with like those big metal tins they keep like chicken wings in, and he like whacked him in the head, like boom. All you heard is like a boom, like a gong.
While he was beating off?
While he was beating off.
He got hit with a big metal thing, dick in hand?
Yep, dick in hand.
Oh, my God.
Hit with the metal thing, and then so like I was walking in that direction. I turned around, and I just went. And I found the coolest looking. It was all right. It was a Philly cheesesteak.
The wildest thing about this whole story is that you went to Atlanta and ate a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah. I was like, where, what?
Yeah. Are you going to go? What's a traditional food from Atlanta?
Atlanta? I feel like, I don't know.
We had some
popcorn.
We had some Jamaican food.
Jamaican
like when we
food.
first landed there.
No, was that good?
Nah, not really.
You didn't like it? See, are you like one of them cats that just kind of likes... You don't really like eat a bunch of wild stuff. You just
I like it. I think all restaurants are always case to case, though. You know, it all depends
It's a
on
case
like
to case.
it's like the cook, like the right cook has to be like I can go to the Jack in the Box right there, and then go to one down in Spanaway, and they're gonna be two different experiences because you know the cook's different. He might be having a good day.
The cook at the Jack in the
cook's having a
Box.
good day.
You know what I mean? Anywhere.
My wife actually has a theory because she worked at Burger King, and she would always put like a lot of tomatoes on the burgers at Burger King because she likes tomatoes. And so whenever you go to a fast food restaurant and you're like, man, that's a lot of mayonnaise.
It's probably because that person
That dude loves
loves mayonnaise.
mayonnaise. But yeah, we're glad you're here, Trey. We're glad you're back. And yeah, I bet it sounds like it was very busy with Mr. Nate Jackson.
Busy man.
Yeah, like we always talk about, we record this at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club in Tacoma. And Nate Jackson just headlined here all weekend.
He did.
Yeah, you
I
got
think
to,
Jess got
to go up
on Sunday.
I did. I was here on Sunday. I think. And I think both of the shows were sold out.
Yeah,
It was ridiculous and awesome. The first show I opened, and then the second show I got to feature.
oh dope. That's sick.
Yeah.
So he was doing like a host. Who was hosting?
Fred was hosting, and then my BFF Lynette was here for the first show on, and she featured.
That's cool.
And destroyed.
Dude, Lynette freaking, oh my God. Lynette, we did a show in Oak Harbor at this Navy spot out there. There's a lot of Navy guys out there. And Lynette had the host feature, like we didn't have a host or whatever.
Yeah.
She did so good. I was so pumped
she did.
for her. It was rad.
Awesome.
Yeah. She just has the best attitude. And yeah. And then she saw me in my underwear in the parking lot. So
That's
cool.
unfortunate.
Yeah. What are you gonna do though? I call it God's green room.
Oh, you just be going out there. And just,
Yeah.
For real?
I don't change. I don't.
He doesn't even like
it's just
back in.
underwear. Yeah. It's just underwear. It doesn't like. I talk to her. It's fucking. It's the only weird thing about it is I'm talking about it on the podcast now.
So even when you headline, like there's a line of people outside, and you're just like in the parking lot. Just
Yeah.
If there's a green room at the venue, or if my hotel's close to the venue, I'll change there. But like honestly, like Some of these bars that I work, like I make most of my money headlining bars. Like that's what I do, Trey, you know, and like it's getting better, but it's still like a lot of what I do is just headline bar shows. And a lot of times like changing in a bar bathroom. I've changed in offices at bars sometimes. Like because one time I stepped in some pee with my socks.
Oh, that's a bummer.
And I'll never be the same.
Was it your pee or someone else's pee?
It was someone else's pee, Jess.
Oh, well,
if it was my pee, I wouldn't care because I pee on my feet all the time.
That's a bummer. And well, I actually peed on myself before I headlined my show.
Oh yeah, I bet you did.
Wait, hold on. We're gonna skip the fact that you said you pee on your feet.
No, I made that up. Yeah.
In the shower or like
just on.
Well, to get rid of athlete's foot, yeah, I've peed on my feet in the shower to get rid of athlete's foot. Yeah, it helps.
I don't.
Yeah,
I think someone else has to pee on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can't fit in the shower with anyone else, so it's like we're gonna have to do it in the yard.
No, my bladder isn't what it used to be.
Did you really pee your pants a little bit?
No, not a little bit.
You went for it.
I was changing in God's green room.
Yeah.
I do it inside the vehicle,
Okay,
not outside of it like you do. And I was changing, but I had to pee, but I couldn't go inside because I hadn't changed yet.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm like talking myself like down, and I'm like, you're okay. And then I went to change, so I took my pants off, and then like that was the cue to my bladder that
yeah.
Oh, we're peeing.
Yeah.
So I started to accidentally pee inside of Dane's BMW.
Oh my God. How much pee? You really peed a lot?
A little bit of pee inside the car. And so then I opened the door and hopped out.
In the parking lot
In the
of
parking
the bad
lot.
space in Salem? I know exactly what that parking lot looks like.
I look in front of me, there's a truck full of people.
Oh my God.
So I got up from my squat and like ran behind the door of the car.
Yeah.
But then there's like people behind me. But yeah, I peed on my socks. And then I ended up because there was that truck right there in front of this door. I ended up running to the other side of the car and then getting in the driver's side.
all this with no pants on?
With no pants and my socks and getting ready to headline a show.
It's wild stuff, Trey. Jess is a wild card.
It was ridiculous, but I didn't have to pee anymore. I was so happy.
Well, yeah, when you pee all over yourself, that is the one bonus is you then you don't have to pee.
Imagine
anymore.
peeing all over yourself and still having to go pee after.
Yeah, that would piss me
No,
off.
I finished. Yeah, I sat there in a squat. I finished.
That's
I
what you did.
sat
Yeah,
there
you
in
might
a
as
squat, and
well.
I was just like,
You're
fuck
committed.
it. Like they're already seeing
That
it.
is the nice thing is like whenever I piss myself, I'm always like, well, at least I don't have to look for a bathroom.
Right.
Because I am a bathroom.
This is I can check this off the list.
Unless it's like poop.
Well, even then, at least I don't have to. Well, I guess you got to find a place to get cleaned up.
Yeah.
Well,
So when I went in for my set, I just the first thing I asked
Did you
was,
tell him?
well, I just asked if anyone saw me pee in the parking lot.
that's a good way to start.
Yeah, it
though.
was like for no particular reason whatsoever.
Yeah, and you sent me a screenshot. You did 40.
I did 40 minutes and
8
like
seconds?
18 seconds or
Yeah.
something. Like,
Did she send you that too?
Nah, she just told. We were talking about
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
that's sick. Yeah, that's so dope.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of time. Did Dane do some time too?
No.
Oh, okay.
There were two other guys there that there weren't that many people. There were only a handful, but I think they worked out really good because then it was intimate and sweet.
Okay.
But it was really fun. Yeah.
That's good. And you felt good doing that time?
Yeah, it felt awesome because it was like, all right, well,
Did you feel that?
just chill out.
Do you remember we were talking about how whenever you go over the time that you've done, like the last 7 minutes, did it feel weird?
I felt excited. Yeah. Like I was like, oh shit, and this is happening. Maybe I can really do this.
It's it's almost like, it's just like driving down like a new road, like a new beautiful road that you've never been on. Like, it's kind of like, oh wow, like there's this other thing past.
Yeah.
Like when I go past Tenino, now there's Rochester.
Well, it was cool because like the audiences, you know, they were kind of drunk, but like I was able to, you know, play off of them, and like they were like, oh, we're here, we're on a date, and he was like, this is my cousin, and I was like, oh, that's fucking okay, that's perfect, and then able to like take what they were saying and then, you know,
build it into
and
your
put
set.
it and be like, oh, that's perfect. I'm from West Virginia, and you know,
That's the best when
be able
you
to
can
move with it.
combine like material, crowd work, and like riffs all together. I'm not surprised that it went well. I think that those opportunities, especially a comedian that has your style on stage, and if you haven't seen Jes on stage,
Which a lot of people haven't.
it's very unique. It's very genuine. But a lot of your delivery is very authentic, I think would be a word that I would use when you're talking about you kind of being like a naturally anxious person. And it's nothing, I'm not saying anything against your joke writing abilities, but that you speak from a place of honesty and not strategy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your jokes seem very natural. It seems like it's smart.
Thanks.
You hand me one of those so I don't bang my thing on the table. You'd think that we'd figure this out.
Don't bang my thing.
17.
Don't bang my
So I can
thing.
put my
That's
thing
pretty
down.
good.
Is that a good song? Yeah.
Thanks.
But yeah.
And then, so before that, even more important than headlining my own show, was on Wednesday
Oh yeah.
of last week.
This is so wild.
We had our Vanderpump Rules party at the bar. And we had, I think, 150 people actually show up. We had 189 actually buy tickets to come.
That's cool. That's money though.
Yeah.
It's kind of silly. I don't get that flex. In Seattle, people do that all the time. They buy tickets to shows
And then never
they
show up.
don't come. Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I mean, it was good because it was packed.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like we capped it at 120 this time.
I want to find this actually.
But yeah, it was completely full, and it was just so much stinking fun because I got to make Vanderpump Rules jokes that like everyone got, and they thought I was so funny. And everybody got to take like Vanderpump Rules selfies in our photo booth. And
Did you guys rig it up so it's
we changed it. We Vanderpumped it.
Oh my god.
And
So smart, man.
Yeah.
You guys are just on it. I swear to God. That place is gonna work. I really think it is.
I'm trying to convince Dane to change it completely to a Bravo bar. And just completely, let's just forget about the comedy. Like, I'm kind of over the comedy thing anyway.
I wouldn't take it that far.
Oh.
But
All right, well,
but
fine.
I would like to do comedy there. In fact, I think I'm booked there the week after next or something.
Your book.
I'm doing a show there.
Oh, yeah. You are. You want to talk about it? Okay.
Yeah, we could. I wasn't ready. I'm looking for something.
And
right
what
now.
I know, what are you doing? Like, it's hard to talk.
Because,
It's
no,
hard to
I
tell a
want
story.
to-
Like, I'm just like,
that's
oh,
like, we can talk. We can talk.
I'm like, all right. I guess you are not listening. So
It's
I
one of like my
will-
biggest, not pet
Like-
peeves, but it hurts my feelings so
Yeah, I
much
was
when
just
I'm like engaged with someone and then like for a while.
literally,
what
like, I
I'm
can't
looking
talk to
up-
myself.
No, what
like, and
I'm
I'm like, oh,
looking
my
up-
Vanderpump Rules party, and he's
No,
like,
no. You want to know?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the only reason I did this is because I wanted to pull up the Stranger article because there's parts to this. See what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
well, you got to think of the optics.
Yeah. This is. Oh wait, see, this isn't even the right one.
The Stranger.
The Stranger did an article, and you know what? I think it'd even be better if I just talk about. I read the article.
Okay.
And it's rare that I read.
In general.
Yeah, in general.
Because
yeah.
it's so difficult.
I'm busy. I used to read in jail, and it gives me bad. I don't like it. Anyway, the article talked about how all these weird folks that reality TV is this funny thing because I feel like a lot of the people that love it, they don't know why they love it. And a lot of times it's like society like shits on it. They're like, this is
always.
not a cool thing to love. I try not to do that, right? When you bring up Vanderpump Rules, I don't I don't particularly like shows like that. I just don't. And maybe I would if I gave him a chance. You know, maybe I would. And maybe part of me doesn't watch it because of the stigma. But anyway, the lady from The Stranger, what's her name? Megan talked about how she went to Comedy Bar in Capitol Hill, the comedy club that Jess Anderson co-owned with Dane, and walked around in between these tables and was just overhearing these beautiful conversations. And not just about Vanderpump Rules, but also stuff that people had going on in their lives and like people meeting each other and people like really connecting and using this show as that device that builds those connections.
Right.
And that you building this night around this show, but in reality what you were doing was like creating community.
Right. Yeah.
For a bunch of people that might not feel,
who don't have a place.
that might have been the first night that a lot of those people went out in a very long time.
Well, I know it's the first for me. It was, you know, I definitely went into it being like, I'm getting ready to meet all new friends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited. Like, because I know that there is a fandom because we're all on Reddit. But there isn't a place for people to get together and talk about, you know, because people do give you shit for watching reality television because it's, you know, just trash or whatever. And it is a little bit. But there's also, I mean, it's human behavior. It's people watching at its fucking finest. Like,
I don't, when, you know, we throw like, oh, it's trash and stuff like that. And like, everything's trash.
Right.
Like the things that we enjoy, I'm sorry, but like the NFL is like, without a doubt, like you have some of the worst behavior. And I'm not talking about the players. I think overall the players are actually like, they try, you know what I mean? But like owners and like, they have these deals with, the owners have deals with these municipalities to like buy stadiums for them. And the NFL itself is like a non-profit. I don't know if you know that or not, but it's insanity.
Yeah.
Like how it works, like the league itself, it's complicated. But like, and then we want to be like, oh, like the issue is these people that watch Vanderpump Rules who, I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
I just think it's just another thing, you know? And if it brings people joy in this hellscape that we live in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. I will never, I used to be a guy who would make fun of things I didn't understand, like different music, different cultures even. Like it was bad.
Oh man.
And I'm so glad that people like open my eyes and be like, and you kind of did this.
Yeah.
With this. Like,
good.
I don't go around, I'm just completely neutral.
Right.
To these shows. But yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people, I've heard that a lot, like, because we posted a picture of the audience and everyone, I've heard that they're like, I had no idea there was, I'm like, yeah, like there's definitely, there's a market, there's a need.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun because like when the show was on and like, you know, it was like our Super Bowl. Like we were watching our sports. Like when a certain person would come on, like everyone was cheering. And when another person would come on, everyone started booing and like clapping. And like it was a whole event. So it really was community. Yeah. And, you know.
I would not be surprised if there is a lane for you and Comedy Bar.
Oh, there will be.
Doing maybe some other reality shows.
Yeah.
Too.
We're gonna all of the ones that I love, I already have like major plans for.
That's like, fantastic.
Like Big Brother's coming up.
Yeah.
But Big Brother comes on 3 nights a week, so I really am gonna have to figure that out.
Ooh, that's tough.
But yeah.
But yeah.
It's gonna be awesome. We have another one. We have 2 more weeks of Vanderpump Rules, and we have already sold out for this week, and next week is at like 108 or something.
That is insanity.
So
I can't believe that.
Yeah,
that's so great. And also, honestly, the club, you guys are at like a really, I mean, it's a critical time for any new business.
Oh my
is
gosh,
these
it's
first
so
like
awesome.
few months, and it seems like things are going well. You're getting good attendance at the comedy shows.
Well, yeah, and what's happening too is like we had somebody from the Vanderpump Rules show come to open mic, and she brought 3 of her friends, and they came to the open mic, and then they've been like coming back, and so hopefully
just keep building. That's all you got to do.
Trying.
So we talked about Nate's. Talked about Vanderpump Rules. We haven't talked about my bad run of shows that I've been on, because I don't talk about it on social media.
Yeah.
But like, I'm making decent money, but there's been some rougher shows with like poorly attended shows. But everybody did their best, but that's kind of what it is sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta like
every once in a while.
Once in a while. It's just like that. But things are looking good. I'm going to Central Illinois. I finalized that plan yesterday.
Nice.
So I'll be in Chicago. I'll be in where else am I going to be?
You just breezed right over those shitty shows.
Oh yeah. No, it was a theater that probably seats around 300, 350, and I think we had 25.
Nice.
Yeah, but they sat close, and I actually did good.
25 is great. I'd be so happy with 25.
Oh, well, it's just it was a mess. I'm not going to go into it. You see, it's the thing is, I'm never going to talk about details with this, because sometimes even like amazing people and like people that I love, like there's difficulties like this. And the only reason I actually feel uncomfortable talking about it on the podcast, because I don't want people to try to figure out like what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, like it's like that sometimes. Like it's brutal like that sometimes. And you know what I'm talking about.
We had a show we had a show that had 3 tickets sold.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gnarly. And I can't even remember. I'll have to look. I can't even remember what I did. Yeah, another one in Oregon too. Same kind of deal. I think this place holds like 80, and I think we had 20.
Do you still get I mean, obviously you still get paid, but do you still get paid like enough money to make money after something like that happens?
I had, for both these gigs, I had a minimum that they have to pay me, but then I get more depending on tickets sold. But there's definitely like, I definitely didn't. The money hasn't been great, but luckily, like the week before that has been really good. And also I have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week coming up. So Friday I'll be in, I have a theater show in Klatskanai, which is the city my wife grew up in. And my wife's coming on the road with me.
Nice.
It's just going to be really fun. So I really love that. I don't know. You probably can't hear it on the podcast, but I'm so happy just for us to be able to get away, because it's been, and also I'm getting ready to go on tour in June. So like this kind of stuff is really important for us as a couple, because it is hard. I'm leaving for, I think it's 8-9 days, something like that. 9 days, you know, and my mom's going to be with me. Well, she's not going to be with me. There's going to be a point where I'm going to break off and drive down to Knoxville and Cincinnati. She's not coming to that part, but yeah, it's going to be really fun. So I love traveling with Brittany, and I love it when she comes on comedy tours with me, because she'll go to the Klatskanai show because she's going to have people there, because it's the town she grew up in. But she just wants to sit at the hotel. Nice. She loves hotels, and she doesn't like to watch me do comedy really that much. She likes it when I have like new jokes, or if I'm doing like, which I don't. And she likes it when I'm doing like crowd work, or like when stuff goes wrong. Like she enjoys that. But and you know what I love is that I'm to a point in my life where my self-esteem is high enough where I'm like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Don't come. I don't care.
Yeah. Why? I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah.
You know, which is pretty dope.
Right.
So that's going on. I went to the races on Sunday.
Ooh. How was that? Did
It
you
was
win?
sick. Yeah. I don't know if you guys could see. I'm wearing my JJ Hickle hoodie. Even though he's racing in Ohio right now. So he used to race.
Like cars or horses?
Cars.
Okay.
I don't like horse racing. I don't know why I would. There's no reason you would know that. You should. Oh my God, that is going to be its own thing. You should have came with me on Sunday.
Right,
I'm going to take
you
Trey to the
weren't
races.
doing anything.
Yeah, I need to take Trey to the races. You would have fun, man. I'll buy you like some corn dogs and
What
stuff.
kind of like, is it like dirt, like drifting and
Yeah,
stuff?
dirt track, stock car racing.
Like hatchbacks?
Man. No, dude. No, it's like sprint cars. Sprint cars and modifieds. I'll talk. We shouldn't talk about this on the podcast because it's super niche.
Look at Jess's face.
Yeah. But here's the thing: is that I'm friends. So Tyson Blood, who raced the modified, he got third place last night or Sunday night. And then I went down to the pits and said, "What's up?" And he gave me a shirt, which is cool because he really likes my comedy.
Nice.
He runs a company called Fusion Graphics, who they do a bunch of the graphics. They do wraps and stuff like that for these race cars. But I think they mostly do like motocross stuff. Great guy. I went down to the pits and said hey to him after the race. It was funny. I got a really good picture with him. And because I really like hanging out with race car drivers because they have a similar, they're like me. But instead of like trying to do comedy all over the place, they race their car. You know what I mean? Stand-up comedy.
Some of them do comedy too.
No. Stand-up comedy and stock car racing are very similar.
How similar are they?
Because there's no money until there is. Like it's only the top. Like, I don't even know. Like, have we ever tried to do the math? I don't know if people know this or not about just how difficult it is
to be paid
to make money as a stand-up comedian. Like,
yeah.
Like I barely I've been doing this almost full time for I think like over 2 years. I can't figure it out. I'd have to look back. But I think I quit my job a little over 2 years ago. And for the first year, I barely made it like to where I was contributing enough. So I was like obsessed with this like $800 a week number. And now I am making more money, but now I'm taking shots. And every time I do that, like I lose money on this stuff. Like I'm not making a bunch of money on this Midwest tour. The only reason I made money on my big West tour where I went 10 days and got bronchitis was there was only 3 shows where I really got paid out. Like, well, one of them I got paid out great. You know? And I'm not going to go into that because then we'll get a bunch of messages from a bunch of
How do you get booked on that?
What's that? Yeah. Can I get the contact info?
Who's doing the booking on
Yeah,
that?
who's doing the booking? Jess books everything. Just email Jess with all your booking concerns. Jess knows everybody.
And then if she doesn't answer, make sure to email her again.
Yeah, email her again immediately.
Like,
30
give her
minutes later.
give her at least 24 hours.
20 minutes, 24 minutes. So, and the driving is the same thing. Check this out. Another similarity. Every audience is different and every track is different, right?
Yeah.
Every track is different racing surface, right? Check this out. Dirt track racing, the track changes during the race, okay? Oftentimes during a comedy show, what that crowd wants changes during the show. Also, there's a bunch of inside like baseball knowledge shit. Like there's stuff that me and Jess could talk about stand-up comedy that we would never talk about on a podcast because nobody gives a shit. Because it's like we could talk about specific jokes and setups and punchlines and taglines and shit like that and callbacks and all that stuff, which people have a general understanding of, but like also don't know. It's the same thing with racing with the like really like weird like technical know-how about how they're setting up their cars. This is me telling you that I love racing, and it bums me out because most of the races are all on Saturdays, and I never get to go.
Yeah.
But this was a Sunday race, and I got to go, and it made me happy.
Well, and you got an awesome new baby hoodie out of it.
I actually bought this offline because here's the thing.
Oh.
Okay.
The sizes or what?
Huh?
The sizes?
What do you mean?
You said, here's the thing, you have to buy it online.
No, I had to buy this.
It's definitely a sizing issue.
No, it's not a sizing issue. It's a he's in Ohio now issue. And my JJ Hickle is racing in Ohio now. And I'm going to go and get this. I have 3 days off on this tour, 2 days off on this tour. Guess what I'm doing? What? I'm going to go see JJ Hickle race.
Shit, we could have guessed that.
At Fairgrounds.
If we would have taken
If I could have pressed my button.
If we would have taken just a second.
Yeah, because you know who else is going to Ohio? Me.
Yeah.
Me.
And your mom.
And I'm going to go in the pits and I'm going to be like, JJ, I'm here in Ohio. Not just for you. But for you.
It worked out really great.
Yeah. And you know what is the thing too that cracks me up about it is that like I have people and I appreciate it. I like it when people are like really nice to me after shows and they tell me that I'm wonderful and things like that. And like they fangirl the fuck out. But like I do that with these race car drivers and it makes me feel like so awkward. I'm like, great race, Tyson. I really like how you started running high in turns 1 and 2 about midway through. That was a strong field. 35 cars. 3rd place. Very good, Tyson.
I bet that makes Tyson feel great.
I hope Tyson listens to this. I'm going to tell him to listen to this because I'll tell JJ too. But yeah.
JJ in Ohio.
Yeah, JJ Hickle in Ohio. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right when I posted a picture of me and Tyson Blood together, JJ Hickle liked it.
Dang. Mm-hmm. Dang. I mean, you've made it.
I've made it.
The guy on your t-shirt likes your stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I made this weird now.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about was my disastrous day yesterday.
What happened?
I had to help my kids clean their room, and I cut their bunk beds in half.
On purpose?
Yeah, you don't cut things in half.
Well, I don't know how intense you got cleaning. I don't know.
Like when my dad cut the bunk bed in half, it was a good day. I liked it how it was afterwards.
Yeah. So my kids each have their own beds now that aren't like a bunk bed. And oh my God, me and my kids cleaned their room together.
How many hours is that?
6.
Damn.
Yeah, 6. Yeah.
6
And my
hours.
kids actually held up pretty well. Maybe it wasn't 6. It was probably more like because we took a break.
That's so long.
It might have been 4, but
You didn't find anything bad?
oh yeah, I found
all
lots of
bad.
bad stuff. A bunch of fentanyl. It's like God, you guys are 10 and 12.
Get it together.
Like you can do a little bit of fentanyl, but like don't get
Keep
crazy
it in the
with
kitchen.
it. Keep it in the kitchen.
So there's nothing like that your kids are like not allowed to have besides drugs or like guns or anything. Like, you don't find like
No, they're allowed to have drugs and guns. Trey. These are my children. They can have drugs and guns.
They can't have other things.
Yeah. They actually smoke
Sugar is out.
fentanyl out of a shotgun bong. It's cool. Yeah. No, there's all kinds. I mean, it's funny because like it's clean, but also like the carpet in there is like, there's like glitter slime.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
Looks like a little kid's room.
Oh my God. But there was a moment though where we turned the corner and they realized like, it was funny because me, Oliver, and Bud were all having like emotional moments, but we were all like supporting each other, including me. Like there was multiple moments where I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know if I can do
Oh my gosh.
Like it was.
What happened in that room?
Well, we wound up just we donated a lot of toys. We threw a lot of stuff away. What happened is they're not like little kids anymore. And so like the kind of toys they play with now, like they're still into Legos. And so like we have like a lot of Legos But outside of that, like they're playing board games and reading comic books, and like they have like some Funko Pops, and like especially my youngest is obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's, or as my mom calls it, is Freaky Friday Freddy's, which is
Fab
yeah. She doesn't say Five Nights at
Fab
Freddy's.
Lab.
So, yeah, I just realized too. Do you see that on my face right there? I think it's for my CPAP mask.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have like a little
rash.
acne.
The only reason why I asked if you found anything bad is because every time my dad would clean my room, it would be terrible. Like one time we went grocery shopping and there's like those 3 packs of gum, and my dad had just bought one, but he was like working a lot. So like a week passes by and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a pack of. I would always like having a pack of gum so you can make new friends at school and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And I put it under my pillow, and for some reason my dad like found it. And man, he tore up my room, and like he sent me and my brother, like he tore it to desecrated it, and he told me and my brother like to do jumping jacks in the garage till we heard that he was done, or else we were gonna get our ass beat.
Damn.
So every time for a pack of gum under my pillow.
Man.
That's why I was like bad is like for me it's bad as anything. Like for my parents it was like we didn't buy you that, or that's food in the room, or like. Is that your friends? Like it was the parents who would like, let's go drive to Jess's house and you're gonna give her back her Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Like in front of her parents, like, Mom, let me talk to Miss Anderson. And be like,
Damn.
Dude, your dad was like my dad, where he was actually pissed off about something else. Like he's probably pissed off about something that happened at work, but then he'd come home and he'd be like, "Did you spill some water here and not tell me?" You know. So.
No, I look back on it too. I'm like, yeah, he was probably just.
Tell you, I'm going to tell this story on the podcast. So I had, I've always had ADHD, and I have it like really bad. I know nobody who's like shocked by this information. Like the only way I'm able to succeed in stand-up comedy is I have like, I use lists essentially. And it's the only way I have a chance because I get so distracted. Anyway, when I was a kid, I would get so into what I was playing with that like I would wait to poop. And I would wait too long.
Yeah.
And literally as it was coming out, I'd be like, I gotta go to the bathroom, it's coming, you know? And I would routinely not make it. And I was 9. Like I knew how to use the bathroom. But I would be, and it was always something too. And it's so stupid looking back because like I was playing in like a gravel pit behind our house. like I'm just like, there's gravel. like I was so into what I was doing. Like anytime I could find an activity that like engaged me, I was like, this is it. This is the only thing that makes me happy. And this is what I'm doing. And I don't care if I shit my pants. Well, I mean, I cared that I shit my pants, but I could never connect me not going to the bathroom with my eventual pants shitting. But anyway, I was playing in the gravel one time. I shit my pants, and I had a routine when I shit my pants. Right, is that I would go and kind of get cleaned up, you know, and then I'd get those shitty underwear because I had plenty of underwear, right? And I would get those shitty underwear and I'd throw them off in these bushes by the side of my house, right? Because nobody would find them out there.
Oh right? God, I would vomit.
So anyway, I got my shitty drawers, right? I clean myself up. I get my shitty drawers. I throw them, right? But I threw them too high, and they got caught on like this tree branch, right? And it was like they were pretty high up. And so I'm like, crap, I gotta get these shitty drawers off this tree branch. And I thought I had plenty of time. And so I get this stick, and I'm like trying to knock. And as I'm doing that, all of a sudden I hear my dad coming down the driveway.
Oh my God.
My dad's on the way home, right? And so like he gets home and I got this stick and I'm like jumping and
trying to get
scrambling because I know he's in a bad mood, right? I just knew it, right? And he comes out and he's just like, what the hell are you doing over there? He was so mad. And he comes over, he's like, what is that? And then are those like, are you throwing your shitty underwear in the tree?
Oh,
and I was like, no, like there's no excuses, you know? And then he looked.
Oh,
he's
my
peeking
God.
over in the bushes, and then he sees just like, there's like 10 pairs of underwear.
Oh my God.
He's like, do you just shit your pants all the time? And I'm like, I'm really into what I'm doing. And yeah. Yeah, and I caught a whooping. I caught a whooping for that.
Ew, you had a whole shit tree.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than that was such a bad day. So like, not only did I shit my pants, I threw my shitty underwear in a tree. My dad caught me with those shitty underwear, and then he caught me with 9 other shitty underwear. He whooped my ass, and then I'm, and then I remember like my mom getting home. I can't remember if he told her or not, but that every time I looked at him, I was like, he knows that I just shit my pants all the time. Like he knows.
I just wonder if like, is the shit tree still there?
I had that show in Puyallup, and
Did you go by and see?
Yeah, it wasn't really a tree. It was more of a bush. It was like a tree to me because I was like a little kid.
Oh,
But like, yeah, all those bushes, they're all gone because it's all like built up around us now.
oh, bummer.
Yeah.
I was thinking of just like an aging tree with just like.
Imagine the landscaper who's like, yeah, we got to clear out this lot. And then he cuts the bush. And he's like, what? Another one?
Yeah, I guess it's nice. You know what I'm going to do actually one of these days? So I still know my neighbors from there. And they said the people that live in that house are actually really nice.
I wouldn't bring it up.
No, I'm not going to bring up the shit underwear bush situation.
Did you find a shit tree here?
Yeah. But I do want to go and look around the house. I know that they've made a lot of changes because like basically the backyard used to be like a big piece of property that's been sold and they built houses on it. So there used to be like a bunch of woods behind my house. And now there's no woods behind the house anymore. It's just more houses, which is sad, but that's what happens. But yeah, that was
a great story. Because I remember when I would get spanked, it was kind of like, it wasn't cool, but my dad was so, I don't even know what it called, but my dad would spank the living shit. Like you would get a phone call and you'd be like, 17 lashings. Like, and then just hang up.
damn.
And then so like you would get home, mom was home.
The fear of it was
And like
worse.
my mom wouldn't be involved, but like after the ass whooping was done, it was a normal day. Like my dad would be like, I don't want no awkwardness. You're still gonna say goodnight. But if it was like with my mom or something, that was a psychological warfare. It'd be like restriction for 90 days, but like no electricity.
Yeah.
Like if you get caught looking at the TV while doing dishes, you're getting a sandal thrown at you.
Yeah.
You know.
I remember my dad I'd be crying while it was happening, right? And I had to clench my jaw while I was crying because if I didn't, he'd hit me so hard that my teeth would like crack together, and I was always worried that I was gonna break a tooth.
Damn.
Because he was like my size, you know.
And you can only take about 8 before your body just starts convulsing and you can take about 8.
It makes my back hurt thinking about it. Not my ass, but my back.
It makes my throat hurt just from screaming so loud. I'll just be screaming like for help. Help somebody.
You guys had my stepmom tried to get my dad to spank me one time. She was like, you need to go spank. I forget what I did. I think I didn't fold the clothes or something. And my dad was like, okay. And then we went into the back room and dad was like, all right, on the count of 3, pretend to start crying.
Okay. That's so cool.
And then he just, he made some spanking noises and I pretended to start crying.
There's I've always told people this, and this is going to get real for a moment. I don't it's been a pretty silly podcast thus far, but like, I love my dad, and he died when I was 12, but it's so complicated, like those feelings between me and him, because when he was a good dad, he was a very good dad, but when he was a bad dad, he was like a very bad dad. and the stuff that happened around him with his drinking. And, I'll just say it is he fucked other women all the time. And, it's something that, I've had to deal with. I don't, and it's complicated. It's complicated between me and other family members. Because my brother Kevin, who I'm really close to, my dad was deployed all the time. He was a lieutenant colonel. Like, he was gone all the time. And Kevin had a chance, though, to like work stuff out with him. And I can't remember if it's either my dad apologized or not, but like, it's brutal to kind of have like so much unfinished business because he died.
Right.
So it's like, my memories of my dad are the memories of a child, however I am 40, And I think sometimes, like, with this comedy stuff going as well, it is like how much of a kick he would get out of this stuff.
Yeah.
But like, those memories are kind of like, they all have an asterisk. Cause like, honestly, like, I think about this shit. If my dad, like, if he walked through that door right now, like, I don't know if I want to hug him or like fight him. Like, that's what it is. Cause I feel like he's got it coming. I feel like it's really complicated, and I'm back in therapy.
Yeah.
Which is good, But yeah, a thing that I have sometimes, and a pet peeve, I know lots of people have issues with their family and stuff like that. And I know sometimes that there is no chance of reconciliation, and that's not even healthy to make communication with some people. Some people's parents are so toxic but man, if you have a chance to try to work stuff out,
right,
and you can do it in a healthy way, by all means, like, be involved with therapy before you do any of this. Like, get professional help and don't take my advice. But if there's a option for you to try to bury the hatchet, especially if your parents are like aging, like, have at it, because you don't want, there wasn't much I could do because I was a kid, but man, like, there is like, I pull around a rock behind me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always got, there's always like a little bit of weight on me. I'm never all the way free because of that memory. And I think that a lot of the reason why I go as hard as I do at this comedy stuff is because I'm stuck as that kid.
Right.
That kid who wanted nothing more than my dad to approve of me, but also like being like so afflicted with my personality, and just being like this strange, like, my brain doesn't work like a lot of other people's brains do. Like, I'm so distracted all the time, and it works great for stand up, but a lot of that, has to do with like, because of that, like, trauma and shit, like the shit that me and Trey are talking about, like, that changed who we are, and not in a good way. Like, you shouldn't be scared. You shouldn't be scared of your parents like that. Like, it doesn't help you,
Right.
And like, it doesn't, I think some fear, like, my kids are a little bit scared of me because I could take their stuff away. And I have yelled in the past, and I don't feel good about that. But I don't know, Trey, I think you'll understand this, man, is it like, I have never put my hands on my kids, and I never will. I don't care what they do, because I do not want, if God forbid, like, something happens to me, I'm driving home from freaking Dallas, Oregon on Sunday, and I roll my Kia and a crocodile eats me, an Oregon crocodile eats me. I don't want my kids to have some podcast someday. And they're just like, yeah, I loved him, but but
Yeah.
you know,
And on that note too, with my dad is a very mean person, but for every time that I cried because of him, I laughed maybe 150 times more and harder.
Yeah.
Like on different occasions, and like to the severity of laughing. Like my dad is compared to Nate, like I have never laughed like I have with my dad, with anyone. Like that dude's funny.
yeah.
But I mean, he be fucking up by like military stuff like that, deployments, you know. And as I get older, I'm pretty empathetic. I'm like, he probably was just,
Fucked up.
you know. And like, there's no excuse, but at the same time, like with that, no, yeah, we laughed a lot. He taught me, you know, we played everything. Like there was times where I can tell my dad would get home. My dad would leave for PT every morning at 4:30 and go home like at 6, 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And there I'd be like, you want to play catch or something? Never once did my dad, besides one thing, I never asked my dad for anything. He didn't get it for me. Maybe a year or two later, but like never did I ask him, you want to do this? And he was like, nah. So, but a lot of times he was right.
They're from a different. They're from a different. They're from a different era, and it's not up to us to. It's neither here nor there what we think about it, really, because first off, we can't do anything about it. You know, like my job is to continue working on myself and getting into a position where I've worked through this stuff, you know, and what that takes. I'm still learning about what that's going to take. And it sounds like, you know, you're still learning, Trey. Trey, how old are you?
24.
24.
Just a little baby.
Dang, man. 24 is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I got sober at 25.
Damn.
Yeah, it'll be 15 years next month.
Wow.
I've been sober.
Damn, so you're 60? I'm just kidding. No, you're 40.
Damn.
No,
Damn.
it's already hard enough being 40, Trey. But yeah, we'll see. There was times, man, where like he really did do some like legendary stuff, you know. But unfortunately, man, a lot of times like what I remember is not.
Yeah, not good.
I don't know. Like terror just sticks in your brain so much better than joy does. You know, that's kind of how it is. Oh my God, I almost forgot. This is a good transition. I did write jokes.
Jokes.
Yeah, that's what we need. We're almost done here.
Jokes.
Okay, I wrote 5. And Jess, you can start. Here.
Okay.
Jokes that I wrote. I wrote
I feel like
2
that was
last night
an
and 3.
insanely abrupt
What?
transition.
Well, I don't know what else to say.
You're like, wipe your tears. We're going into jokes.
Therapy. Yeah, that's what it's about. Honestly, is like fuck everything else. Like it's my job to not like think about this shit. It's my job to get help for this stuff. Like it's not fair what happened to me, and it's not fair what happened to you. It's not fair what happened to anybody who goes through traumatic stuff. I'm not saying that you're responsible for what happened to you, but I am saying that I know that I have a responsibility to work on myself so I don't repeat that stuff, because I want to change the trajectory of my lineage. You know what I mean? I want Millers moving forward to be caring, kind, accepting human beings.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. And anyway, here's some stupid fucking jokes that I wrote.
All right. I put my turn signal on after I turn. It's like I'm bragging, like, yeah, I turned my car.
That's not very good. That's all right. Just call him like I see him.
I thought I got away from the cops one time, but it turns out they were just chasing somebody else.
Well, then you did get away.
Yeah,
Sounds like you got away.
I did. I can't remember these jokes. I can't remember what I wrote. I just think there might be one other good one. I can't remember.
My car has airbags, and I know the cost of those airbags factors into the cost of the car. And I don't think it's fair that I might never get to see them. It's true.
It's an interesting thought.
I guess right before you sell it.
Yeah, crash it.
I think fishnet stockings are really hot on girls. As long as they don't use actual fish nets. Come on, Tammy, get your life together.
Tammy sounds like she is useful.
Yeah, she wore actual nets for fish. This is the last one I wrote in the parking lot before I came in. Maybe it's a good one.
Every sauce is a special sauce if you're just a really big fan of sauces.
They weren't as good. What was the one last week? That was
Yeah,
really
let's do those again. Let's see.
Do you remember the one about pickles?
There was one that your mom read that she thought was very funny.
I can't
remember what it was though.
I can't remember. Oh, here's a thing about the Tarp Report. First off, thank you everybody for listening. We're thinking about having guests.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Sam's coming around.
yeah, I just think it'd be fun. Then we don't have to talk about my trauma all the time.
I thought this was, I was like, dang, I like this episode. And Jess was like, oh, fuck you guys.
I didn't.
No, it's a good. I like
this
this episode.
Did I just what?
No, I think this
He's
has been
the one
a great.
who said something.
I think it's been a great episode.
I like it.
Yeah,
I think
it's fine.
good.
I'm not the one who said we need guests.
What?
No, I'm not saying we need guests. I'm saying it'd be fun to have guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think
You
that
changed your mind.
we have
Because you were very
established-
adamant before about not having guests.
You got to remember that me being adamant about anything doesn't mean
Changes.
anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm
Sorry, I
Dude, I would
took you at face value.
I say I am so impulsive
Yeah.
and I can be very steadfast
Right.
until I change my mind immediately.
Right.
Which is the opposite of being steadfast.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay. Just as long as we're on the same, we're in the same book.
Yeah.
As long as we're in the same book,
Yeah.
we're never going to be on the same page. But you can kind of have a general idea of what the other one is talking about.
Yeah. And we got to talk out those because we have to record an extra 2 episodes in the next 2 weeks, which will be interesting. So
Better get them as
Trey's
guests.
excited. I know. Trey's excited. That's it. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. I
Anything you wanna
think,
plug?
no.
Good job, Jess.
Good job to you too. Proud of you. Nice work, everyone. See you next time.